Grand Rising, everyone. Greetings. My name is Na Amelia Santiamar, and I would like to welcome you to Real Talk Reshaping Motherhood. It is Monday, the 22nd of February today. And please, if you're joining us, whether it's for the first time or multiple times, please do take a moment to drop a comment. Let us know where in the world you are joining us from. And also, whichever platform you are on, please take a few seconds to either like, follow, share, subscribe, depending where you are. As I said, I'm Na Amelia Santiamar. Today we are streaming live from Ghana on my side and Kenya on my guest side, but from a number of different platforms. So welcome, Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa, Speak Up in Empowerment Africa, and also my personal YouTube page and GPAN Queens. So welcome to you all. And if you haven't joined us for the first time, Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa, it's a not-for-profit organization registered in Ghana, working with women and girls around the world to empower themselves so that we can empower our nations. Speak Up and Empower is an organization we are in partnership with, and it is an online, heart-focused community looking to build other communities, relationships, and basically improve lives around the world. So you are welcome. I'm really stoked to have my guest join us today, Sister Najar Yakio. And some of you may remember her on some of the other platforms we have been on, and it's fantastic she's joining me today to unleash her pearls of wisdom on what we will be talking about today. But before we go into that, if those of you have not met her, Sister Najar is a mother, a grandmother. She is an African woman advocate, as well as an environmentalist and a land activist. So first and foremost, please just take a moment and let's give her a warm virtual welcome. Welcome, Sister Najar.
Thank you so much, Queen Na Amelie. It's my pleasure to be here tonight and to talk about how our wombs govern the way we mother.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to get into that. And just before we do that, please do tell us what is an African wombman advocate? What does that incorporate?
Well, I call us women, that is spelled W-O-M-B, womb, man, because I believe that we are men with wombs. We are humans with wombs. We are people with wombs. So when I speak about the African womb man, I'm speaking about all those of we who have been born with this organ called a womb.
Wonderful. And that leads us, beautifully onto what we are discussing today, which is how our wombs govern the way we mother, how we raise our children, and many other things. But if we can start there, Sister Najar, where would you like to take our viewers to first about, the role that the womb has or it plays in how we actually parent our children or how we mother our children?
Well, I would start at the very beginning, which is that as women, we are very different from men. We have about 3,500 extra genes. This is within our own chromosomes, the X chromosome and the Y chromosome. We have a double X, and men have an X, and then they have a Y. The X chromosome has double the number of genes that the Y chromosome has. So we have two chromosomes. And those two and those genes are built in us and is the reason why we have what is called the womb. Now, the womb itself is an organ which stretches from, let me start from the beginning. The womb consists of many parts, just like our heads, for example, this face consists of many parts. My face consists of my eyebrows, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my lips, my neck, my ears. The womb consists of the ova, and within the ova are within the ovum, consists of the fallopian tube, consists of the womb sac itself, consists of the vaginal canal, and it goes further to the vulva, both the minor and the majora, to the clitoris, and it also includes the pubic muscles, which are also called the pelvic muscles. So all that is what is called the womb. There's the internal and there's the external. The same way that our mouth, our tongues, our teeth, and our throats are all part of what is called the digestive canal. So you have inside, you have the throat, which you cannot see, but it is part of the mouth, the lips, the tongue, the teeth, and the inner cheeks. You just don't see them, but it's there. So the womb also consists of internal organs and it consists of external organs. They're not separate. And that's the external organs are now the vulva, the clitoris, and the pubic muscles.
Okay, that is obviously it's probably more than we are used to talking about. I know you and I have spoken about how little we actually perhaps know and are allowed to express or talk about our anatomy, like actually call out the body parts if you're not sitting in some kind of scientific or science class or something else. So, um, what would you what would you say that I mean, still in keeping with what you're saying, I think I want to get at what is it that we maybe underestimate or we don't know about how much the way the womb functions, it actually influences the decisions we make when we're parenting our children, maybe even before we've actually given birth.
Yes, Queen, this is true. We do not realize because we're not taught this. So I think that's the reason why we have this show today, isn't it? So that we can teach this.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
when the when a girl is in her mother's womb, she already has over 1 million ova in her own womb. And this is at 22 weeks. And this is how it shapes whom we are as people. Because it means that when a woman is pregnant, she
Mhm.
holds within her her own child, and that child has the ova and the eggs for her grandchildren. This is important to understand. Okay, it's a maternal cycle, and it's just something which happens the same way that trees have green leaves during the spring, or that a tree has a tree trunk. It's this exact same biology. It happens. So girls already have the ova of their children.
Mhm.
That's one. Um, then the womb itself, the reason it is called a womb is because of its function. and its function is scientifically built. It is built to nurture, to protect, to take care of, to sustain, to support, to protect. These are all automatic. These are the same way that your eyes see. When you open your eyes in the morning, what do your eyes do? They see. What is your nose there for? What is the function of the nose? It has within it senses such you can smell. What is the function of the tongue? The tongue has within it little senses such they can taste, and you can tell the difference between something that is sweet, something that is sour, something that is bitter, something which has no taste. So this is the same function of the womb. It's already inbuilt. It already has its programming. It has its DNA. It's already there. It's not something that you can put in or take out. It is there. Okay. And those are the functions, the nurturing functions, the protection functions. The womb is built like a sanctuary. Now, you know what a sanctuary is. A sanctuary is known as a safe harbor, a place where you can go and get nourishment, protection, you can get growth, you can get energy, all those things. That is what a womb is. The other thing that a womb is, and I'm talking about the whole womb, not just the womb sac, okay? And this is what we have to recognize and realize, that a lot of the time when we talk about the womb, the language is particular to the womb sac. Here I am talking about the whole womb. So each month, each 28 days, and this is in a natural cycle, in a natural female cycle. This is not a cycle where you have planning, chemical planning. Yeah, this is your natural cycle. So your natural cycle, every 28 or 30 days, the ovum releases an egg, an ova. The release of this ova into the fallopian tube, what is called the fallopian tube, is like a netball throw. You know, when you throw the ball, okay, today it's basketball. Okay, so it's like a basketball throw. The ova has to jump from the ovum all the way across into the fallopian tube. Now, that jump is packed full of what is called energy. Energy. And this energy, the term for it is generated energy. And the word generate means to make energy. The word generate also is to make a family. And this is where the word generations come from. So this happens, this energy is produced by the womb automatically every 30 days. This is an automatic production of energy every single 30 days. And this is the role of the womb. So when this energy is produced, it is used to grow the egg. It doesn't dissipate. This is the energy which is used for 9 months to grow the egg into a baby, and to tell the body, to tell the rest of the body that we are growing another baby. Now, a lot of the time we have been taught that the womb's outer areas, remember what I said about the womb is made up of the internal and the external, the same way that our lips and our tongue are external part of our digestive canal, but
Mhm.
it is still, we still have the internal which we cannot see. So
Yes.
an issue which we have with the womb is that it is called, it has been named recently as a sexual organ, but it is not a sexual organ. It is a reproductive machine. It reproduces human, because when you have a child, that child is a copy of you or your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
a copy. And this is because our wombs are reproductive organs. Reproduce. We reproduce ourselves. We don't produce from nowhere. We replicate and we reproduce. So this energy which we produce every single month through the release of the ova into the fallopian tube is an energy which is thus used to reproduce another of ourselves.
Being.
A mini
Yeah.
me, you know? Yeah, a mini.
Mini-me. Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying, it may sound to people like, yeah, but that's so obvious. It's like, yeah, that's where babies grow. So I just want to get in on the emphasis about this distinction between reproduction and sex. And, the fact that its primary function is to reproduce. But in today's society, I take it's like almost that has become kind of forgotten about, and the focus has been put on sexual intercourse. That what we're saying.
Yes, that's what we're saying. We're saying a little bit like, um, our mouths, um, um, I'm trying to be careful with my language over here,
I
okay?
know.
The womb man is not a sexual object.
Agreed.
The womb is not a sexual object. It has a function.
Mhm.
And that function is so vast because in the womb, like I said, because of the womb, there are over 3,600 different genes just located in the womb itself. And boys do not have this, and they cannot have it because they do not have what? A womb. So the
Ooh,
males
yeah.
cannot have this. They have other genes, okay? But they do not have the womb gene.
Mhm.
So the womb is a stand alone, it's a stand aside. And it comes packed with all these things. And it comes packed with a lot of sensitivity,
Mhm.
And this sensitivity and these extra nerves are deliberately there for the function of nurturing the child. And this child is going to grow, and for 20 years, for 20 of its years, human years, we rotate around the sun 20
Mhm.
years. So the mother, the mother, because of her womb, she is able to nurture her child for 20 years.
Mm.
Therefore, she teaches the child how to walk, she teaches the child how to talk, she teaches the child how to sit, how to eat. She knows what to feed the child because this is
Mhm.
automatically within her. It is
Mhm.
part of her senses. And let me put it this way. You cannot teach a blind man how to see. You cannot. And in the same way, you cannot teach somebody who doesn't have a womb how a womb feels. It's only other women who know how
Mhm.
a womb feels because we are the womb holders. And this might sound harsh, but if I tell you that the sky is blue and you tell me that the
Mhm.
sky is green, I'll tell you, okay, that's from your perspective. But I cannot teach a blind man how to see
Indeed.
because he does not have that organ. So the womb,
Yeah.
when it comes in, and that is why baby girls are so different from baby boys from the onset, because they have the extra genes. It's not their fault. It's not. We can't sit here like they do in some places and say no, they're the same. Oh no,
Yeah.
um, and I do not want to come back here and say that we are not equal or all that. I don't want to change the English. No. What I'm saying is this. We do not have a penis. We have a womb. That's it. And the womb comes with the extra set of genes. And that is just it. So baby girls are so different from baby boys. Remember what
Not
I said?
better, not worse,
No,
different.
no, no, no.
Mhm.
Just different. There's no
Just
better,
different.
there's no
Mhm.
worse. Okay?
Mhm.
It's just accepting who you are and what and whom your child is. So when
Thank
a
you.
baby girl is born, she has over 1 million eggs in her
Womb.
womb. You
Mhm.
cannot deny this. And because she has a womb, she's going to act differently. She is she's going to have a different temperament. She's going to be more nurturing. She's going to have more emotions. She's going to have more insight. She's going to have all these things that wombs have and are
Okay.
packed with.
I
And
want
that
us
is
to come
just
back.
her. Yes. So
Sorry
one
to
has to
sorry
understand.
sorry to cut you, Queen. I want us to come back to the insights because that I see is really as the some of the practical ways in which the womb endows us with abilities that our boy children don't have because they don't have a womb. But first, I just wanted us to look at this question. You've been asked a question on the platform from Sister Sheila Chebet, and she's asking, why is it 20 years that we can nurture our children and not any other figure? Because, yeah, you know, in some places, the age of adulthood is 18, sometimes it's 16. Where does the 20 come from, I guess, is the question.
Well, I'll say this. We're talking about African women. In Africa, basically, we take care of our children for 20 years. Yes, in other places in Europe, they do have a habit of kicking their young ones out at 16 or 18. But with Africans, we do things slightly different. And most mothers still think that their 20-year-old is still a baby, which is right in some way.
I'd agree. I'm in my 40s and I know that I will always be my mother's baby. You know, it just is.
Yeah. So it's not a matter of they are old enough or they should be able to take care of themselves. Let's not get into the legalities, okay?
Yeah.
Because what we're talking about here is we're talking about the womb and mothering and the roles that we play. Because I know there are women who still baby their married sons.
Yes.
And we have a saying in Kenya that when the child goes back home to visit, okay, just for a visit. I've gone to visit my mom, okay. We call it, the saying is, I've gone back to breastfeed. Okay, nimeenda kunyonya kwa mama, okay. But the man is not actually going back to nyonya. He's not going back to breastfeed. He's just going, he's going to visit his mom, okay? And in the process, his mom will cook for him, baby him, take care of him, and just be a mother, you know, just be a mother to him. And she's going to do this to him, even if he is 40 or 50 years old, she's still the mother. So she's going to do what she knows how to do best, which is she's going to nyonya him and cook him food and tell him, you know, I know you like this or I know you like that. That's just us African women. That's what we do because we have these very big ova, we have big ova, we have big wombs, and we have big buttocks. Okay. And all these, the way we are packed and the way we are made, okay, we also have very wide hips, okay? And the reason we are made like this is for the reproduction and nurturing of our generation. So we have all this energy. We have all this energy. And this energy just keeps coming out every 30 days. And what is this energy? If we don't have a baby in the womb, we'll use this energy towards what? Nurturing, sustaining, emotional development, caring, loving, all things grow, and everything that is called a sanctuary. That is the energy that we automatically produce every single month. And that is why we automatically take care of and what is called baby, our children over and over and over again, because it's something which comes every 28 or 30 days.
And if we are not nurturing our children, because, for instance, we are women who have not given birth, we're not birth mothers, maybe the children are away somewhere, to what extent do we use this energy, or can we use this energy for creativity?
Yes. Um, this energy can be used to nurture ourselves. We can use it to heal ourselves, heal our own bodies, wherever, in whichever space we feel that it's not well. We can learn how to do this. Yeah. And we can also do what is called, we can look after other children. We can be the best aunt ever. We can adopt if we want to adopt. And we can give all that energy to those children. We can also start a business, because a business, we've also been told, a business is our baby. So we
Maybe,
can
yes.
so we can use that energy in any art form whatsoever, in any talent whatsoever that we wish to put ourselves to, because that energy is boundless. There's some who, let's talk about the word impossible. I usually talk about we are womb possible. The word impossible is made out of three words: I, the letter M, and possible. I am possible. I apostrophe M, possible, impossible. So when somebody says that I am impossible, I say, thank you, because you just told me and given me back that energy that I am possible, that I can do whatever it is I put my mind to. So with this energy that comes every single 30 days, 28 to 30, okay, that comes, I can put all this energy into my project, whether it's writing a book, or it's starting a business, or it's raising children, or it's whichever project it is possible to put that energy into that project. Now, this energy usually, and this is where it gets dicey, has been named wrongly as sexual energy. And we have been taught wrongly that the only way that we can use this energy is through copulation. But this is not true. You can use this energy in so many other ways. It's not just copulation. And that is why I say that I would like to remove the word sex from our wombs. We are not sexual objects. We do not radiate sexual energy. It is not sexual energy. It is energy, but it is creative energy.
Creative, yes.
Yes, it's creative energy and it is positive growing energy.
Nurturing energy. Amazing. Wow. Uh, I'm sure people have some problem with that because the extent to which we are, we are taught. I mean, I remember at school, we were taught about reproduction, but then with reproduction comes sex. And I think over the time, it's almost as if one has been replaced, by the other. Um, Being taught that the breast, for example, that the primary function is to feed children, secondary function maybe is to indulge in sexual foreplay, intercourse, that kind of stuff, but the primary function is to nurture our children. Um, and society is getting to the stage where the most natural function is the one that is demonized, if I can call it like that, the one that's looked upon. I don't know if you remember the times and to what extent it happened in Kenya, but definitely when I was in the UK, the number of the outrage that there used to be when women started breastfeeding in public, and I was thinking, but this is what the breasts are for. Why is there such an uproar? But then it's fine to be for breasts to be splashed all over, some tabloid or something, completely back to front. And whilst people have choice, yes, choice what you consume, but to make uncool or unsanitize almost the natural thing, like the primary function, just I won't say it makes sense because I understand maybe the agenda behind it, but the fact that we got to that place, which fortunately I don't think we're in as much. So more, I don't know what your experience is in Kenya, how it is, um, but yes. So please do share. But aside from that, what I want to ask is if you can tell our viewers a bit more about how mm, I guess our connection to or with our womb, uh, or how the function of the womb is such that it gives us this kind of extra ability, maybe heightened senses. Is that a good phrase?
Yes, this is true. The womb is packed with so many nerve endings. Um, it's really packed. Um, and these nerve endings send messages the same way that, let me go back to the, can I go back to the tongue, or maybe I go back to the nose? The nose
Okay.
is filled with um, sensory fibers and nerve endings. And when we are taught how to use our noses, we are taught this smells good or that smells bad.
Yes.
Um, or let me give another example of wine tasters. Wine tasters
Mm.
actually, they they go, they taste wines. Okay, they go through a schooling where they actually taste wine until they know which wine is which and whether it is good or whether it is bad.
Yeah.
Another example, bank tellers, when we used to use money, because now we don't use so much money.
Very true.
Back in the day when there were no machines to count money, bank tellers would count money with their fingers. I used to find it amazing. They had this way of going through the money, like, okay. And when they're doing that, between their fingers over here, they would be able to pull out a note and say, this note is fake.
Yes. Yeah.
And I asked my friends, how did you do that? And the way the bank would teach them is that they would give them only real money to practice with. So what happened is that their fingers became so sensitive to touching real money that if they did this and they touched fake money, they would know this one is fake. Mm-hmm. So we have not been taught about our wounds, and we're not taught about our wounds. This is the sad bit. We used to have midwives, we used to have aunties, we used to have a cycle of maternal women who surrounded us as little girls and told us about our wombs and told us about what we're feeling. As little girls, we would be told, oh, you're feeling that because of this, and you're feeling that because of this. Or, is that what you're feeling? Tell me about it, my daughter. Today we are told to suppress our
Exactly.
womb motion. We are told to suppress our intuition. We are told to suppress if we feel anything that is different from what a man feels. Because you see, the men are the ones who have written the educational books. So if they don't feel a thing, it does not exist, which is wrong. Because you cannot say that a bird does not fly just because you cannot fly like a bird flies. So
Indeed. Yeah.
our wombs have all these extra sensories that they were born with, that they came with, packed. And it's called woman's intuition. And the reason why a womb has intuition, let me repeat again, is because she has a womb. And a womb has all those extra nerve endings. So if you're talking about a nose, imagine if you had a nose here on your shoulder and another one here on this shoulder. They would both be smelling, right? So you teach this nose how to tell the scent of rose flowers. You teach this one how to decipher the difference between bad odors or good odors. And then maybe you teach this one, which is close to you, close to the mouth, how to decipher good food or bad food.
Yeah.
But women already have this. And they have it because of their wombs. Now, the whole womb organ, like I had said before, it starts from inside, internally, from the ova, the fallopian tube, and the ovum. And then it goes down to the womb sac, goes down to the vaginal canal, and it goes down to the labia minora and majora, and then it goes down to the clitoris. All these are packed with nerve endings. And all these nerve endings talk to the brain, because all these nerve endings go back to the brain. So I gave an example once, and I'm sure this is the one that you want me to talk about. The example of, for example, when we pee, when we pass urine, our urine passes past the clitoral hood, and the clitoral hood picks up on what is in our pee, and it knows whether we need certain minerals, certain salts, certain vitamins, whatever it is. And that is why women are so prone to food cravings, because they need these food. Do you know men don't get food cravings the way women do? I'm sorry, they just don't. You know, they're sitting there wondering, so how come this woman of mine today she wants this, tomorrow she wants that, the other day she wants this. A man can sit and eat the same thing every day for 30 years and he will not get a food craving. But women get food cravings. Why? Because we're always trying to balance our wombs back into the state of nurturing, because that's how we're created. We're created with a womb so that the womb can nurture not only ourselves, but generations. So one of the functions of the clitoris is to send messages to the brain to say, hello, excuse me, something, I need me some magnesium, or I need me some potassium, or I need me some whatever it is that it needs. Okay, so you have this food craving and you need to go and eat. You need to go and find out whatever that is. Now, our midwives are very good in this, because they would talk to us and they would ask us, what is it you're craving? And then these medicine women and magic women, and I really call them magic women because they knew all the plants, right? So they would know, okay, this is what she needs, and this is what she's craving, and they would know which plant it is, and they would pick it up and say, okay, you need yourself some of this. Okay. Now, I don't want to start a sleigh of, oh my gosh, what is this about? But this is how powerful the womb is. The womb, when she knows herself and she needs to be safe, she takes on a role which is called a protection role. Now, if your partner happens to hug another woman, how is it that the womb, you know because your womb has those perceptions, and you can smell more than he can. So he might not smell the other lady's perfume on himself, but you can. And if it is a woman whom you know, when you smell her scent on him, you already know. So you already know, my man is cheating. Why? It's not anything he said. You can smell it on him. And he doesn't even know what scent he's carrying. He has no idea. But you see, in the same way that our eyes are trained, our wombs train themselves. For example, if you look what are those things behind me? They're little sculptures.
Mm.
So, how do you know a flower is a flower? Because you've trained your eyes. How do you know a color is black? Because you've trained your eyes to know that that color is black.
Yeah.
So you don't have to keep being told that's color black, that's color black, that's color black. After some time, you know that that is color black. Excuse me. So in the
You get
same
used to
way,
it. Yeah.
yeah, in the same way, a woman, if she smells another woman once, she knows that woman's scent. It's the same reason why mothers know when their babies have pooped in the diaper long before the men know. You know, they just know this. I'm gonna change the baby, and the man is there like, huh? You why? But she's already smelled. She already knows.
Yeah.
When,
I can relate to that.
yeah, when it comes to sexual intercourse, this is what the man does not understand. That the whole vulva is full of senses. Senses. So if the man has been in another vulva, your vulva will know and will tell you your man has been with another woman. This is how extraordinary the womb is. So here we are, where we have this thing where the man cannot accept this because he doesn't have a vulva, so he doesn't know how we feel or how we know that he has been in another woman's vulva. Okay, we call it cheating, but I don't like to use that word. Okay, so let's not use that word. Let's just say this: he has been, his penis has been in another woman's vulva. So you know why? Because your womb has told you. It's like eating, even if your eyes are closed and somebody gives you a mango, for example, you'll be able to tell that that's a mango.
Yeah.
And you cannot explain how you know it's a mango. So this is why there's so much trouble when it comes to relationships. Because the man is busy there saying, no, I haven't been with no other woman. And the woman is like, why are you lying to me? I know you have. But he doesn't understand it. This is because of the way the womb is built.
Wow. I think you have to come back and give us a whole nother segue or conversation on that, because that subject sounds huge in itself and tied with our intuition. I want us, it's like almost time to wrap up now, but I want us to try and deal with this question from another question, which is asking us basically, why is it that you're saying that we're not taught about our wombs? Why can't we teach these things in schools? It's definitely, yeah, I definitely was not taught this stuff at school. But clearly, it's very crucial information.
Well, we've had very long arguments about our educational system. So our educational system is
Do you think?
part of the government system. So
Mm,
This is something which I think that we should teach our daughters. We should teach all our women. We need to get back into the matriarchal circle where we take the responsibility as women and teach our daughters, teach our nieces, teach our sisters, teach other
Yeah.
women. We cannot put this in the school system. We cannot put this in government institutions. We can't put this in other there. We can't take this responsibility which is ours and say, okay, let somebody else do it. You know, we can't ask a horse to teach our daughters how to be women. Only we can. So in the same way that I teach this in the Mito podcast, and now Amelie, you can leave the link in the podcast.
Okay.
I keep saying that we as women, we need to realize whom we are as women and stop calling ourselves WO men, because we are not WO men. You know that? Whoa, man. Okay. We are women, and our wombs are integral parts of whom we are. And we are African womb men. We have bigger bums, wider hips. We have bigger ovaries. We have wombs, which the womb sac, okay? Our whole bodies are built beautifully as generating energy machines. So we generate energy, and that's how we use this energy to mother our children, to take care of our children. It's there, it's inbuilt. We came ready to do this thing. And the sad thing is that when we try to stop the flow of energy through the intake of chemicals, family planning pills, IUD, or we cut off our fallopian tubes, or we take out our wombs, okay? All these, okay, cut off our natural flow of energy. There are also other ways, but those are the most direct. Those are the most immediate that I can talk about right now. There are other ways that we do block off our energy, but those are the most immediate. So when we do that, what happens is that we suffer because we do not have that natural flow of energy. And when we don't have that natural flow of energy, when we don't have all this information, when we don't know whom we are as women, that is when people come along and say, but you're not that important. Your womb is not that important. Anyone can raise a baby. Anyone can do this. Anyone can. No, we came built like this. That's the womb function. And she's staring at herself like, hello, queen, have you disappeared? It seems that she has. So I'd just like to tell everybody, thank you so much for listening in. This program was brought to you by the host, Na Amerli Asante Omar, and she is the founder of Power to Our Mothers Foundation, which is in Ghana. It's also in other parts of Africa. And I am hoping that we will start a chapter in Kenya as well.
No
And
need to
as for
hope.
myself, yeah,
That
as
one
for
will
myself,
happen.
yes, thank you.
That one is
And
in the pipeline. So you heard it here
yeah,
first. There will be a Kenyan chapter of Power to Our Mothers Foundation Africa. And sorry, one moment. Um, I just want to thank Sister Najar for joining us today. And if you join us back next week at 6 p.m. GMT for the next episode of Reshaping Real Talk, Reshaping Motherhood. Sister Najar, thank you again for joining me. We will definitely have you back again to talk of other issues.
you're welcome.
Okay. Thanks. See you next week, everyone.